Do you actually know how much a trip to Japan costs? If you don't know this, you might overspend, or even worse, try to save too much and not fully enjoy your trip. In this video, I break down the real cost of a 7-day trip to Japan, including hotels, food, transportation, souvenirs, and popular activities like Disneyland and Team Lab. And at the end, I'll show you the total cost. Hi, I'm Ikumi from Howzit Japan. I was born and raised in Japan, and we've guided over 700 people from all over the world. So think of me as your local friend. If you're planning a trip to Japan, make sure to watch till the end. Let's start with the hotels, the biggest expenses. In Tokyo, typical business hotels cost around $60 per night. What's business hotels? It originally started as a hotel for business people, but nowadays, lots of tourists use it for their accommodation. But the cost can vary a lot. If you don't want to spend too much on your accommodation, capsule hotels or hostels can be $20 to $40 per night. On the other hand, traditional ryokan with hot springs and authentic Japanese meals or luxury international hotels can easily go over $150 to $300 per night. For this video, let's say you're staying at the business hotel. Not too cheap, not too expensive. But to be honest, I think business hotels are more than enough if you're spending most of the time outside. Business hotels usually include breakfast and amenities. And also, most of them are really close to the station, so it's convenient. And they're genuinely clean. Most of our guests actually choose business hotels near the train stations, especially if it's their first time in Japan. Appa Hotel and Toyoko Inn are really popular. Anyway, for 6 nights, you'll pay around $420 to $500 if you choose business hotels. Next, food. Before starting, let me tell you how the price in Japan is, so you can imagine how cheap or expensive it is. The Big Mac meal is about $4.83, and the tall drip coffee at a Starbucks is about $2.85. Just for your info. Breakfast from convenience store or cafes will be pretty cheap. It's about $2 to $5. If you have lunch at a restaurant, it'll be around $6 to $10. Dinner with drinks, $13 to $30. So per day, it'll be about $20 to $38. As a local, I spend $8 at regular restaurant at lunchtime, and about $30 for dinner with drinks at izakaya, which is Japanese style bar. But again, it can be more expensive. If you go to the traditional Japanese restaurant like ryotei or long-established sushi restaurants, it'll easily go over $70 or even more. But here's the tip. If you want to experience authentic Japanese restaurant but don't want to spend too much, I recommend going this restaurant for lunch. For lunchtime, they usually offer affordable meal compared to dinner. But if you're going to only normal restaurants and maybe grabbing some street food, you'll spend roughly $200 to $280 for 7 days for food. The next is transportation. When you come to Japan, you use trains and buses a lot. If you stay only in Tokyo and use only buses and trains, you'll spend $8 to $10 per day, so around $40 to $70 for a week. But long distance travel can be much more expensive. For example, if you go from Tokyo to Kyoto by Shinkansen, which is a bullet train, it costs about $190 for a round trip. A day trip to Mount Fuji from Tokyo is about $30 to $60. And here's another tip. When you buy tickets for Shinkansen or express buses, we recommend using Klook. If you use Klook, you can book tickets before arriving in Japan. And also, English available. It's super convenient. It helps you to plan and budget for your trip. We use Klook because it's easy to use, and also we don't have to buy the ticket at the last minute. Trust me, we've seen many travelers struggle with ticket machines and end up missing the train they wanted to take. Actually, just the other day at Shinagawa Station, which is one of the biggest train stations in Tokyo, I saw a traveler who bought the wrong ticket and couldn't get through the gate. He looked really confused and stuck. Of course, I helped him, but he missed his train. To avoid this kind of confusion, booking in advance is really important. Especially for the long distance travel, you don't want to miss the train. So we highly recommend getting the tickets beforehand. I'll put the Klook link in the description below, so if you're going to Mount Fuji or Kyoto from Tokyo, please use them. Here's transportation cost. If you're just getting around Tokyo, you'll spend about $40 to $70 for 7 days. But if you're taking the Shinkansen or going to Mount Fuji, you should budget an additional $70 to $250. So in total, you're looking at around $100 to $320 for transportation. In Japan, hiring a tour guide can be a great option if you want to explore efficiently and experience the real Japan. At Howzit Japan, we offer fully customized private tours. We don't just take you to the famous spots, but also show you local areas and hidden places that are hard to find on your own. Let's make your Japan trip exciting and unforgettable together. Next, let's talk about other expenses. This is something people often overlook, but it can really add up and become a big part of your budget. Especially if you start buying multiple things, the total can get higher than you expect. First, souvenirs. For things like snacks and small goods, you're looking at around $30 to $125. For example, popular snack souvenirs are usually about $3 to $9 per box. Skincare products are typically around $6 to $20 per item. And traditional Japanese goods like chopsticks or patterned pouches are often $3 to $20 each. Next is internet, eSIM or pocket Wi-Fi. You'll probably using Google Maps or translation apps a lot, so having internet is essential for most travelers. For a week, it's usually around $12 to $30. Then, activities. This really depends on how you want to enjoy your trip, but let me give you some examples of popular ones. Team Lab digital art experiences are about $20 to $25. Disney resort tickets are around $70 for 1 day. If you're climbing Mount Fuji, the entrance fee is about $25. Observation decks and museums are usually $6 to $20. On the other hand, many shrines and temples are free, especially in Tokyo. But in Kyoto, you'll have to pay $2 to $5 for the entrance fee. Again, I'll put the Klook link for Tokyo Disney Resort, Tokyo Skytree Observation Deck, and Team Lab. So if you're going to these places, check them out. So overall, you should budget around $80 to $190 for activities. So for this extra cost, souvenirs, $30 to $125. eSIM or pocket Wi-Fi, $12 to $30. Activities, $80 to $190. If you plan within this range, you should be fine and avoid any surprises. So, let's see how much a 7-day trip to Japan actually costs. We'll exclude flights since the prices are varied a lot, depending on where you're coming from and the season. If you stay only in Tokyo, you're looking at around $700 to $1,100. If you visit places that require a Shinkansen trip, like Kyoto or even Hiroshima, you're looking at around $900 to $1,400. And if you add popular attractions like Disney Resort or a trip to Mount Fuji, you should expect around $1,200 to $1,600. Of course, this can be lower or higher depending on your hotel choices and how much you spend on food. But in my experience, most travelers fall somewhere within this range. So, excluding flights, a 7-day trip to Japan will cost around $900 to $1,600. If you plan your budget within this range, you'll be able to enjoy your Japan trip without worrying too much. Use this video to budget for your Japan trip. If you have any question, please leave a comment. I'll see you in the next video. No, I'll see you in Japan. Bye! How's it?